Hello everybody and welcome to my new videos. My name is Cristina Grau and I am originally from Uruguay. However, some of you might know me as Grandma's Wanderlust. Before I start talking about the videos, let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know who you're getting. I am a nomad, a wanderer, a backpacker. You see, all my life I wanted to travel, but not 2 weeks here, 3 weeks there. I wanted to do it as a lifestyle. Finally, at the youthful age of 58, I decided to travel the world. This decision was prompted by the stock market crash because I work on the corporate world of taxation and finances and law. I kept all my money in the stock market because that was my profession. And I wanted a bigger return, so I didn't keep it in the bank where it could be safe. Looking back, I should have done that, but too late now. Too many years has passed, nothing I can do about that. After the crash, many people got into a deep depression. I talked with a lot of my clients and they all say exactly the same thing. Everybody was depressed, nobody knew what to do. They didn't know how to have a different lifestyle now that they lost all their fortunes. And a couple of people actually killed themselves. But that wasn't going to be me. At that moment, I had two options. One was staying home, feeling sorry for myself because I lost all my money. The dreams of traveling the world went bye-bye with it. Or do something about it. So guess which one I choose? Yeah, I decided to travel the world. With the little stocks I have left, that they weren't worth much, but still worth something, I sold them because I didn't want to keep it in the market because it might crash again or might take too long for the stocks to go up. And besides by now, I didn't want to wait any longer. I wanted to travel now because I figured by the time I retire, I might be too old, I might be sick, or who knows what. So now was the time to do it. But now without the money, I have to figure out a way to do it, a different way. That means, so I decided to try house sitting. I signed up in housecarers.com and I input my profile, a picture, and a certificate of good conduct from the police so everybody can see what a good girl I am. And I put all the towns around my house where I wanted to house sit. I figured I give myself 6 months to try it off before I get rid of everything. And if I like it, then I can go to Europe and the rest of the world. But to tell you the truth, deep inside, I knew I was going to like it. I had a good feeling about it. So, with that decision, I was happy and I was already making plans. But a few days after I input the house sit, site, I got a call I got an email from a lady in South Carolina that wanted me to house sit for 2 rat terriers. So it was the first time the lady was having a sitter, so she wanted to meet me. I went over and we sat on the couch and we had tea and we talked. And the whole time, the 2 dogs were sitting next to me, one on each side. And after a while of talking and that, she told me that she was going to talk with her husband when he came back from work. And then they decide and will let me know. When I get up to leave, the dogs walk me to the door. With an amused smile on her face, she told me she didn't need to talk with her husband because the one dog loved everybody, but the other one wasn't friendly at all. And she could not believe that the dog sat next to me the whole time, allowed me to caress him, and even walk me to the front door. So I got the house seats thanks to the dog. And I was very happy about it because my adventure was starting. 10 days later, I showed up in the morning before they departed, and the dogs came running to say hello, and they were jumping on my legs. And the couple were very happy that the dogs were content with me and they were happy to see me. So they left feeling no worries because they knew they were going to be well taken care of. And it was great. I mean, the two toy rat terriers were gorgeous. Actually, as soon as I saw them when I showed up for the interview, I was in love with them. They were adorable, and we had a great time. I sat on the floor, and we played with them, and we went for little walks. The walks were little because they were little dogs. They could not walk a lot. So once we got to the corner, actually they didn't want to walk anymore. So I had to carry them home. But that was fine. I mean, they were so cute. Before they left, actually during the interview, the lady told me that the dogs sleep in bed with them. And I love that. I always slept with all my dogs and cats and everything, so that was great. So the first night, as I got into bed, the two of them go up the little steps they had next to the bed because it was too high and they could not jump to it. And they got inside the sheets with me, one on each side. Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't sleep well for the first couple nights because I was afraid that when I turn around, I will squash one of them. But then I realized that no, as soon as I move, they move. And when I turn, they turn. So that was fine. So after that, I slept beautifully for the rest of the 2 weeks. Now, as great as time we had, and everything was going wonderful, we did have a really big problem. Every time I took them to the backyard, the owls and the eagles used to circle around us. I mean, I guess they wanted to eat one of the dogs, thinking it would be lunch or dinner, depending on the time of the day. I mean, and as beautiful as I was to see the eagles flying, I didn't want the dogs to become food. So I had to keep a really good eye on them. But the worst were the hawks. Oh my gosh, they used to fly so low that sometimes they even used to touch my hair. I used to stand there with a broom to hush them, but I was too slow. I would have loved to hit one of them, but I always missed them. I know, you don't have to tell me. I'm mean, I wanted to hit hawks. But they were terrible, and they were really dangerous because they were flying so low that I was afraid that one of them will catch one of the little dogs. I mean, poor babies. But anyway, with the broom, I kept them away. So one day, lady and her husband came back. I mean, and they saw how good the dogs were and how happy, all the three of us were. They asked me to house sit again in 2 months for 2 more weeks. And of course, I accepted. And once again, I had a great time with the dogs and everything was wonderful. Now, after the first house sit, when I went home, I was telling my daughter about the little dogs and the house and the neighborhood and everything else. And she questioned how come was I allowed to house sit for them. Because after all, they had a big painting of the Confederate flag on top of the bed, and they had the Confederate flag in front of the house, like all the other houses in the neighborhood. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have a thick Spanish accent. But the answer was simple. The dogs chose me. So that was it. I hope you enjoy my introduction to my travels videos. I mean, this year and next month, actually, I will celebrating 15 years of being on the road. So I have a lot of stories, a lot of countries, a lot of different anecdotes. So I want to share them all with you. Hope to see you all next week. And in the meantime, have a wonderful time and I see you soon. Bye bye.